It's a critical time for your potatoes. These potatoes look really good. However, they won't before too long if we're not careful. And the number one issue that I've always had with potatoes is Colorado potato beetles. I haven't seen any so far, but we are seeing flea beetles, and they're poking pinholes all in our potato plants. Usually they're not so bad in our area where it's going to cause plant loss or anything like that. But all of these little things can add up. You get flea beetles, maybe you don't get enough rain, you have some stress over here, then you get the Colorado potato beetles, and they will just completely take all the foliage off of your plants if you don't watch out for them. But there's several easy things that we can do now to help our plants produce large Yukon Gold potatoes later. And as much as it pains me to say it, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Yes, Dad? I know, you were right. So it is true though, and there's several things going on right now. These plants are between 10 and 12 inches. This is a critical time for potatoes. They haven't flowered out yet. That's usually when we hill them. That naturally encourages them to start producing tubers. That effect of hilling them does encourage that. But right now we have weeds that are very easily manageable. We just finally got some rain here in Tennessee, and we got an inch of rain. It's a little bit easier to pull your weeds up right now, and we haven't seen any pest problems. So let's start now and let's talk about the products. So this is a critical stage, like I said, for our potatoes. Let's talk fertilizer, and then let's talk about pests and what we're going to do to control them. So this is what I'm using this year. There's several different things that you can use. Some people don't even use fertilizers. I'm a big fan of them. It really evens things out during stressful periods. Not all of us have the same types of soil. You see all these rocks out in here? My plants have to work fairly hard sometimes to be able to produce good tubers, but in my opinion, the return on investment on your fertilizer is fantastic, and I think it's worth it. So this is one that I like to use. It's a broad spectrum of organic ingredients. It has bacteria and fungi that's helpful to inoculate your soil. You know, it's got alfalfa, it's got fish meal, it's got stuff like kelp. That's the kind of stuff that I want in my soil and I want in my food. So this is a great one. We've been taking 1 tablespoon of this, and this is a 2-2-2, and 1 tablespoon, and just side dressing one side of the potato. Just lightly dig down, and we're just going to dig slightly down in there. And then we're just going to put a tablespoon and just cover that up. And we want it within, at this stage, probably 3 to 4 inches of the plant. And then typically, I'll come back and do something else one more time. But this is really going to help even out the nutritional needs of the plant. It really gets them going, makes them more resilient. And I just think it's really worth it, because if I'm going to take the time to plant all of this and dig all of this up, I want to get the most potatoes for the amount of work. And I think this really pays off. I think the number one problem we have in Tennessee, at least, is pest problems. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of other issues, but in my opinion, pests is by far and away the number one problem. I've mentioned Colorado potato beetles. We already have flea beetles, and they're currently the problem. Haven't seen any Colorado potato beetles, but typically I don't see them until we start getting about to this stage. And we are already spraying these with organic products, and this is the first thing that I sprayed them with. This is a lighter dose. This is neem oil, and it's been used in a lot of different areas. It's even used in some topical human ailments as well. And so for our garden, this helps deter some pests. It also helps control some lighter pests, and the smell alone can deter quite a bit of things. But it's very organic and natural, and I sprayed this the other day and it slowed down the flea beetles, but it doesn't seem to do a good job at killing flea beetles or anything like that, but does seem to reduce them wanting to get on and poke all these little pinholes. And to me, it's all about the little stressors adding up and creating opportunities for bigger stressors down the road. Now, I'm trying a new product this year, and I'm really excited about it. I've heard some good things from some folks that grow a lot more stuff than I do. And this, I believe, is called splivin. At least that's what they call it. So splivin is an organic bacteria that can be sprayed on the crop. And then as the beetles, Colorado potato beetles, flea beetles, and other stages of them, as they consume it, it really disrupts them and slows them down. And if they consume enough of it, can kill them. And so I really like the idea of something that's organic, that's going to give me that control. The number one problem, again, for me is Colorado potato beetles. So we're going to be spraying this now. And again, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, because early on, it's not a big deal. If you get a couple of them on here and you're able to control them or deter them, that's not too bad of a problem. Primarily, the Colorado potato beetle offspring, as they lay their eggs typically on the underside of the leaves, and then they emerge from their eggs, they just are voracious. They just start consuming everything. The offspring is easier to kill, but usually they're hiding up underneath the leaves and they do so much damage so quick. So you want to start early, you want to prevent them early, and if you do that, you get really clean, large, healthy plants. The potatoes are going to die before too long because that's just their natural cycle. They're going to build up and get as much energy as they can, and the more we can help them do that in that time period before they put all that energy into their tubers and then the tops die back and then we dig them up, the more potatoes we're going to get. So it's all about trying to control these pests, and I'm really excited to try this out. So we're going to be spraying this after this rain and seeing how this does and applying it periodically. It seems to go pretty far. There's a couple other issues that you can have with potatoes, but for me personally, this really covers it. And the neem oil also helps with maybe some fungus and some other issues that you may have. One of the most basic things about gardening is controlling weeds. They pull water, they can steal sunlight and other resources from your plant. And starting early with those is very important because they're much easier to remove. And the bigger they get and the more you have to hoe or some other type of removal method, the more it's going to disrupt your potatoes or any other crop that you may have. Sometimes hand pulling, in this case, is the best way to deal with it. You have Johnson grass, which is my least favorite weed, and about every 3/4 to an inch of this rhizome is going to produce a new plant. And so removing this out of the soil really helps versus just pulling the top. So don't let your garden do weed, folks. It's a big problem. So we're going to get all this weeded up. We've already weeded them one time. We're going to weed them again, and then we're going to mulch this. And potatoes really benefit from a mulch. They want a good soft area to be able to expand the tubers, and the tubers have to remain shaded because if they get exposed to sunlight, they'll start turning green, and that creates some toxins. That's going to be a problem. So we got some mulch over there. We'll cover them up. And before too long, these plants are going to be so big, they're also going to be really suppressing any weeds that would want to grow anyhow. I just am a big fan of mulch because it helps lock in moisture, helps soil microorganisms do better, and also it just prevents future weeding and feeds the soil, especially with a nice hardwood mulch. So that's it. This is your potato update. Potatoes, it's what's for dinner. Well, maybe that's what beef is, but potatoes with a side of beef, baked potato, loaded baked potato. If you're from the South or Ireland or anywhere that really matters to me, potatoes is a really important side dish, and you should try growing them because potatoes from the store are awesome, but homegrown ones are even better. The texture, just like butter. All right, see you in the next video and kill those weeds.